Let's get started with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's visit to China to acquire more additional rolling stock for the blue and red rail lines. All in a bid to deliver the second phase of the Blue Rail project and also unveil the red rail operation before the end of February this year. Take a look.
Entire team from Lagos State.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu visits China alongside some top government officials to conclude conversation with China Railway Rolling Stock Corporation in Dalian. After the discussion, the team moves to the Dalian Railway Manufacturing Facility to see how railway operates in China.
Yeah. Can I have first?
Yeah. Like I said, so want to take a picture? Okay. It's good.
So put it in English.
English, but this is for Chinese.
Chinese.
No English.
For
Chinese metro.
Speaking after the tour, the governor says additional rolling stock for blue and red line rail will be delivered to Lagos before the end of the year.
We're at the Dalian CRRC train manufacturing plant. They are manufacturers for the existing blue line trains, and we've also come here to further other new rolling stock of both the red line and additional rolling stock for the blue line. It's a very impressive facility. They've been in this business for over 100 years. As you can see, these are all finished products that has been done for other cities, and I'm sure, like you've seen the red ones, the ones for Lagos too will be on this track very, very soon. And we're indeed excited that we're also bringing the technology back to us in Lagos. They've agreed with us, given the number of rolling stock we're procuring, that there's a need for us to have a joint maintenance conversation. And we've seen that indeed when we collaborate like this, we're not just doing procurement, we're actually doing knowledge and skill transfer. So Lagos, you still expect a whole lot. Train is not something you just buy off the shelf. We're not as lucky as what we were with Milwaukee, which was produced, for a particular city, but we had to just pay the premium and take it off. It usually takes between 2 to 3 years, for you to finish the manufacture, because each one of them has its own specification, the platform, and the load that you require, right? But we're lucky that we've agreed with them. They've done the blue lines before, so in less than a year, right? We're going to still have a tough discussion with them. Before the end of the year, we're expecting that some of the stocks will start coming in, and the final bit to come in early next year. But we're ready for that. We're ready for flag off of the red line. They're still promising us this month of February, for us to formally flag it off. We started doing some bit of testing, right? We have some rolling stock already, so we started doing some testing. And if Mr. President is able to check his calendar and get us last week in February, we're waiting for him. And thereafter, we'll probably just cross the T's and dot the I's, ensure that we have enough safety to begin to carry passengers. Even after the commissioning, we still have a lot of testing to do, which are some of the things that we're not going to compromise, and get it done.
In continuation of his infrastructural development drive and the vision to make Lagos work better, smarter and more efficient, the governor's business conversation goes a step further with the management team of the China Airports Construction Company at its headquarters in Beijing, China, where he also mentioned the government plans to build a brand new airport in Lekki.
We know too well that the CBTC system is what is required and what will help, even in a system like ours. We are just trying to develop, our own integrated system, signaling system, but we know that's the way to go. And we want to ensure that in Lagos, we bring in the very best with efficiency, with safety, with security, and as much as possible with the best technology that is available. We know that we are certainly not going to be starting with driverless trains, and we have a huge population like ourselves. So we want drivers to be inside the train, and be able to to contribute. It's interesting to also see how some of those operations are carried out. How the routine activity of each of those drivers when they get to each station is carried out. I think all of those are things that were picked up. But for me, I'm amazed as into how massive the Beijing subway operation is. With well over 800 kilometers of subway rail connectivity, with almost 40 lines, with over 500 stations. I think it's impressive. And so Lagos also prides itself as, that's our plan. That's the future we see. Ours might not be fully subway, it might be elevated, right? But that is train movement is one of the solutions that we believe can help us improve, economic value and be able to move the population that we have also in the city from one point to the other.
Beijing subway is the next stop, specifically to inspect the signaling system in use in the capital city.
Yes, so they have the barrier because
they don't want people to go.
Yeah.
So now is it everywhere you have it now, or?
Yes, everywhere. So you can see there's two different.
The final team to meet with is the president and management of the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation to table his plans and commitment towards the completion of the second phase of the Blue Line Rail project and the commercial operations of the Red Line Rail project.
I think the team, especially our Nigerian team, already discussed with you for the different phases for the post-terminal bridge. Phase 1 is the new one, phase 2 is the bridge, and phase 3 is the other part, road concession. And so we may focus on the main bridges.
There's a lot of interactions on the red line, so we need to be assured that we operate a rail corridor that is very, very safe from passengers, from citizens, and from vehicular movement. So both of us still need to work on that. We are also advancing conversation on the right of way and the corridor for the phase 2 of the red line, which will take it, based on what we're seeing, to the connection of the blue line. That makes it a lot more functional, because what it means is that passengers can hop in and hop off between the red line and the blue line when that phase 2 is completed. The commitment is to get those rolling stock in before the end of this year. I'm hoping that we'll keep to those commitments. It will improve journey experience. It will improve the citizens appreciation of what government is doing to ease hardship pressure, transportation pressure of a big city, like Lagos. So with the new rolling stock, we'll have more predictable journeys. The commuters and passengers will be more committed, and we will see an improvement in the quality of life, and in reduction of traffic gridlocks, and all of that in the city.
Governor Sanwo-Olu's official visit to China is in line with his administration's promise to deliver a multimodal transportation system for Lagos residents, and he's determined to achieve that before the end of his second tenure.